Hi everyone, it's Sue with Ully Designs and Ully World blog, and I'm here today with another Karen Burniston Design Team Challenge, and this one is for July 2026, and the theme is box or block. And I'm going to make a tackle box card. Could also be a jewelry box or possibly crafting supply type box card. Here's my prototype. And as you can see, it has a little lock that will lift up, and it has a handle, and we'll open it. And then it says pull. So using the rocking rectangle pop-up, we're getting our mechanism. So we'll be using, as I said, the rocking rectangle pop-up, the twist panel pop-up, and from this set, we're mostly using the rounded corner dies, and that's what we'll use to make the handle. We'll be using the fishing lure charms. We're going to be using the second smallest of the squares crosshatch. We're going to use from the waterfall card this pull design as well as the rectangle piece. From the treasure chest, we're just going to use the lock die. And then for our sentiments, we'll use happy birthday and the happy birthday shadow. And the stamp set we're going to be using is fishing. And we'll use here fishy fishy and gone fishing to make some like stickers that might be stuck on the tackle box. So I have cut my card, and it started out as 10 inches wide and 7 inches tall. And then I took my corner rounder and just rounded all the corners, and I did it with the card folded in half. From the rocking rectangle, I have cut 2 of the mechanism piece and 1 of the little tabbed piece. We've trained our folds, and we'll glue those 2 pieces together, put those under our paperweight. And again, we've trained the folds on this part. And this part is what becomes the latch piece. So I want to trim off just enough to above where those tab pieces are. We're still going to fold it in the same spot, and we will fold that tab basically in half so that we end up with a piece that looks a bit like maybe a V with wings. So now with this piece dry, I'm going to fold each side of the tabs. In order to glue in our mechanism, we have to glue in our latch piece. So that is the front of the tab. This is the part we will glue to the back of our. That is the center, and we'll let that dry. In the meantime, we'll glue down these tabs. So as we look at our sample, we'll see that the main mechanism is closer to the fold side. So what we're going to do is we will glue this piece on. And by adding the latch piece, we've basically created another fold in which to glue our mechanism into. And we'll let that dry. So now to glue in this piece, we'll flip this over. You'll see I practiced some shading, some ink blending on there. All we're going to do is with this piece folded shut, we're gluing that in. So we do get some movement. I just sort of dirtied up the toolbox with some dark brown distress ink down the front and the back. So now let's work on our inside. This was a piece of scrap paper from what I had left. And again, I've just taken my corner rounder to make some more roundish. And I have cut 2 panels green paper that I put this corroded metal topping on. They're 2 inches wide by 6 5/8. And then I've also cut another set that are 6 5/8, and this time they're 2 3/8 wide. But if you don't have a corner punch, you could take your scissors and round them. One of these is going to be the base piece, and I've marked them top and bottom so that the top one might be the one that's just a tiny bit larger. Using the rectangle decorator die that is meant to go over this, I cut that twice. I've used that there. I've cut an extra little tab here, and then the squares, well, trust me, they were squares that I trimmed off to fit, I've put there. This is our pull label from the waterfall pop-up set. We'll just glue in there. And then I have a little lock that came from treasure chest set. To get our handle, I have cut out from the twist panel pop-out just a portion of one of the rectangles. And then this is a decorator die from that set that I'm going to use to create our handle. So let me go run that through the die machine. And there's our handle. So using the square die, I cut out 4 squares from the top piece and glued that together. And from the bottom, I used the rectangle and cut out 3. So then all we have to do is glue this top piece to the bottom, create the illusion of some trays. So with our trays put together, we can now fill them with things. This is all from the Fishing Lures die set. I've used a variety of shimmer pens from pink to a red to an orange, pale green, pale blue to create the lures. And I also did that on shimmer cardstock. From silver foil cardstock, I cut out these weights and then I took a little StazOn ink and rubbed those pieces through it to get them a little aged. The bobber I cut from white, and it's a 2-piece, so the red part I cut from white, but then I colored it with the red Sharpie marker. And I use a little bit of the silver and the white gel pen for the fishing lures. Now we'll glue in our panels, and I like to get the bottom one in first. Basically, I just want it to be right there. We'll let it dry. We're going to put the happy birthday sentiment there. And again, I did it all in white, cut it out of white paper. But before I cut the actual happy birthday, I used my Sharpie marker to get my color. And here's our finished card. We've got Bob's tackle box. We've got a handle. We've got a lock. We've got a little Gone Fishing sticker. So we'll unlock it, pull it open, and we'll pull out the trays. So we've got happy birthday, here, fishy fishy, and we've got all of the different lures and hooks. And that's our special fishing tackle box birthday card for the Karen Burniston July Design Team Challenge. I hope you got some inspiration from this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.